All right, here's the thing. I understand what you're saying. I'm internalizing it, but I want you to understand something. He needs structure. He doesn't have structure. And I am not trying to question your parenting skills, but this is what I see. Parents are trying to be friends with their children. They're acting like their friends, their children are their friends and adults.
This is the city of Detroit versus, now, let me ask you this, sir, Mr. Gibson.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're driving a motor vehicle, correct?
Yes, I had to get out of my house is a dead zone. So
all right, but let me ask you this. You were driving a motor vehicle, correct?
Yes.
All right, and you come into court driving this motor vehicle, right?
I had to, or I would have missed my court.
I didn't ask you that, sir. I didn't ask you that. I asked you a simple question. You come into court driving a motor vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir.
And do you have a valid driver's license?
No, I do not.
Okay, so what sense does that make?
I didn't want to miss my court day.
You weren't gonna miss your court date. You've been in court all morning.
No,
what it tells me, you know what it tells me? You know what it tells me is that you always drive without a valid driver's license.
No, sir. When you called my name, you couldn't hear my connection was bad.
He's missing the point.
Yelling. If all of us keep yelling. Let me before I give it to Councilman Jackson, 1 second, Councilman. I'll acknowledge you, I'll call your name, and you will be able to speak. You will be able to. This item.
Thank you, Malachi.
Let's
Council President.
Okay.
We need to do some city business.
Council President.
Council
President.
Madam Clerk.
Council President.
He asked for the floor.
I requested the floor first.
I said I'll acknowledge you. You will speak right after the payments of bill. Payment of bill, Madam Clerk.
Wait, hold. Point of privilege. Point of privilege. Councilman Jackson asked to speak before Councilwoman Cotton. And he should have spoke first before her.
Councilwoman Mims, you are out of order.
You're wrong. You're out of order.
You are out of order. You are out of order.
You're out of order.
Out of order. I acknowledge him.
Councilman Jackson asked, and you said to him, you will speak next. You said to him, no, you said that, and then when Councilwoman Cotton lifted her hand, you overlooked him. He should speak before payment of bill.
I never said.
He should speak before payment of bill.
You are out of order.
Council President, do the right thing.
Councilwoman.
You want to take over the meeting?
No.
I don't mind.
I am suspending the meeting right now.
Good. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good night. Good night. Good night. Go ahead, Councilman Jackson.
You're not technically an adult. You know why? Because you can't take care of yourself. You're living at home with your mother. You're using her home as a hotel room, and she's letting you use it as a hotel room. You've been having issues since you've been a juvenile. We got the resisting arrest and search, criminal trespass, criminal mischief, unauthorized use of a vehicle, failure to identify, another resisting arrest, search and transport. I'm ignoring that because that was taken into taken in consideration. And then you've been to TYC before. And you know what that tells me? That tells me a little bit that, one, you need structure. And Mom, you are not his friend, you are his parent. And you need to start laying down the law, because otherwise he's going to end up in prison. And if you violate the conditions that I've set for you, what's going to end up happening is you could be looking at 10 years in prison.
Yep. This just exacerbates all the illegal activity that's going on. There's a facility there that's illegally storing trees. These large tree bases. It's probably the person that made the payment to Councilman Velez to push this agenda forward. But I don't understand why he's moving. This is the fourth item he's pushing in the first ward in that same area. There must be a handsome payment that he's.
Good. One day I gotta meet Granny.
Right?
You don't want to do that. Listen,
No, I want
man.
to.
She's not a very meaty person, like meeting person.
Okay. Okay. Send me a picture. Let me see her. Then I'll tell you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ma'am, can you put some, can you cover up a little bit more for me, please? Ms. Logan?
Oh, it could be the way I'm sitting.
No, you need to put another shirt on.
Okay.
Please. Let's see this file.
Is this better? I'm sorry.
You need to put a shirt on. You need to go put a shirt on. Like it's
Okay, I
work.
just didn't want the call to disconnect. I'm sorry.
Here on out, everything that you do in your life, every decision that you're making, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could result in me going to prison for 10 years? If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, don't do it. Because what I can tell you is, and Deputy Laura will tell you, Deputy Mejia and Ms. Abrams will tell you, at some point in time, when people violate conditions in this court, they always end up getting caught. You may not get caught the first time you violate it, but ultimately you end up getting caught, because I'm serious about probation coming out doing field visits. And when they do, and something happens, you know what ends up happening? I receive a motion to revoke. And when I get that motion to revoke, if it's in proper order, I check the box and a warrant is issued. You are picked up by the police and you are taken into custody. And either your mom makes bond for you or she does not. If she doesn't make bond for you, you are brought over in orange after having been at the jail with other inmates, sharing toilets, sharing clothing. And then I hear your motion. And if it turns out that it is true and I find it's true, then you're looking at 10 years in the prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So your mom is allowing you to do things that she should not be allowing you to do. So you're going to have to check yourself. I don't know if that's something that young people still say, but that's what they said when I was growing up. You're going to have to put yourself in check, because your mom looks at you, your mom loves you, your mom looks at you as still as her little boy. You're an adult.
You cussed out an ordained pastor who serves the community food every week, has a clothing bank, who gives mental health services to the entire community, gives veteran services. You cussed him out like he was a two-bit tramp on the corner.
Why can't you show your face? I mean, I think we deal with this all the time with you. All right. You got to throw the baby on. The baby can be on the screen too. All right.
I want her on the screen.
I'm putting a witness detainer on the child and anyone who has care, custody, and control over the child. Because number one, they being ridiculous. It's a misdemeanor. But I will not hesitate to lock them up too on a show cause. It's a misdemeanor. So they being ridiculous. And I hope they watching or listening some kind of way, because you're being ridiculous. It's a misdemeanor, but I can make it into a felony. I promise you, I can make keeping that witness from this court a felony. I'm talking about witness tampering and everything else that goes along with it. That's what I'm talking about on this misdemeanor case. They better present that witness. And no, I'm not scheduling it for Monday.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Anything further?
So Judge, the court wants the people to send or produce a witness detainer for the court?
Yes, send it
Okay.
and then Mr. Flanagan, we gonna send it to the chief of police. I was just talking to the chief of police the last week at the drug court graduation. He said, Judge, it's so nice to see you. Anything you need, let me know. Look at that. I want you to send it to the chief of police for the Detroit police. I want you to send it to the Wayne County Sheriff. I'm gonna send it to the Wayne County Sheriff. And I'm gonna send it to the state police. And I want them to put on a be on the lookout for.
Understood, Judge.
And I want them to send that to, I'm gonna send it to the Florida State Police, because there's so many little places in Florida. We can't even send it to all the agencies, but we're gonna send it to the Florida State Police to let them know there's a witness detainer on a young lady that's underage that's in the state of Florida being held by somebody in the state of Florida.
So if you love your mom, you're going to have to start doing things appropriately so your mom doesn't have to come to court begging you and not seeing the fact that she has a son who came to court for sentencing and you're using marijuana. And you're probably using it in her house in the form of candy bars or whatever. And you're in the back room with your girlfriend having sex or whatever. And you're going to end up, if you continue on that vein, you guys are going to forget something. And you're going to end up bringing a grandchild into this world for her, and she's going to end up caring for it. And that grandchild is going to be stuck with the father who has all this history, who doesn't have their life in order. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So probation will go over conditions with you.
Thank you, Judge. With the excuse.
Yes.
Okay.
And you are in suspended status. It looks to me like you're in the driver's seat. So I would hope that we don't see any new tickets between now and then. Okay.
Yeah, so now I'm sitting outside my house. I haven't driven anywhere.
All right. Sounds good. We'll see you at your next court date, sir.
Okay.
Take care. Morning, Ms. Cole.
Good morning, Your Honor. Did you remind him to wear a shirt next time?
I left that out. I was distracted by this.
I'm telling you, Judge. So
Michael Lord.
All right, go ahead, Mr. McCall. Today is the date and time set for a review. There was supposed to be a time it says here that was discharged from probation, but go ahead, Mr. McCall.
Your Honor, Mr. Lord was placed on probation on January 21st, 2022 for 18 months. He was ordered to pay $1,195 in assessed fines and costs. He was ordered to complete the alcohol highway safety class level 1, attend and complete the victim's impact panel, submit to random urinalysis once per week, attend outpatient treatment pending on the outcome of the substance abuse evaluation. And contrary to the condition, Your Honor, Mr. Lorick has failed to provide verification of completing the victim's impact panel, has failed to provide verification of completing the alcohol highway safety class, has failed to provide proof of submitting to a substance abuse evaluation, and he has missed screens on July 5th, 2022, July 2nd, 2022, June 24th, 2022, and June 18th, 2022. So he last tested, Your Honor, was on June 11th, 2022, and he tested positive for marijuana and negative for all other substances.
All right, Miss Bradley, you want to put your appearance on the record for this?
Daphne Bradley, on behalf of Mr. Lord. Good morning, Ms. McCall.
Good morning, Ms. Bradfield. How are you?
Wonderful.
All right.
Good. Thank
So
you.
what's going on?
I was doing everything up until the time I got sick, Your Honor.
And when did you get sick?
About 3 weeks ago.
I'm sorry. Doing everything. Did you read that one more time? When did he get put on probation?
He was placed on probation, Your Honor, on January 21st, 2022.
All right, January 21st, 2022. If by my calculation, it's July 21st now. That was six months ago. And he says, I've been doing everything.
I had to get another job. I had to get a whole nother job because of the ticket that I had got. Because I had a driving job, I had got fired from work.
I just asked you what's going on. You said you've been doing everything up until 3 weeks ago until you got sick. And she read off stuff, you haven't done anything. And if you got fired from work, then you would have had more time to do stuff.
I had to get another job.
Well, in the meantime, you could have took the victim's impact panel and the MAD class.
Yeah, I was taking the AA class, and I signed up to do the community service, and then I got sick.
Your Honor, may I speak to him in breakout room, please?
Yeah, he's gonna give me some, what I'm hearing, some kind of lame excuses.
We're gonna do it one more time. Do you have a telephone number?
Yes, ma'am. I've been getting the messages.
Well, why you not been reporting to them if you've been receiving messages?
Well, this was the date today.
All right. I think there's some drug cloudiness going on here. So, and I mean that in all sincerity. I'm not trying to belittle you or anything. I'm trying to save your life, because last time you were here it was a heroin issue. Now it's a meth and marijuana issue. If you do not take care of these issues, what's going to end up happening is either you're going to end up in prison, or either somebody's going to find you on the street because you're going to get a bad batch of drugs. Do you understand?
And Judge, I'm gonna look for some more races.
Yeah, look
and I'll
for some,
keep you updated.
Because I'm trying.
Me too.
I'm trying. All right.
You know, there's that one I think we all did that time on Belle Isle.
Right.
The escape from, but I think they've gone up in price. I think it's like $60 now.
Oh, well, I might not run for $60.
Right, right.
I might not look. I might not almost pass out for $60.
Right. And you know how hot and humid it is on the island in July.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. I might not do that, but yeah, let me know though.
I will. I'll keep you abreast.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Have a great
Ms.
day.
Ritter, thank you again. Take care now.
You're welcome.
Part of my concern is when I look at these three figures, there's a claim for $27.25 for junk removal, and I don't have an invoice for that amount. So I don't even know where the other amount comes from. There are labor costs, and I think that's where, before we came out, that obviously their labor costs, they're attributable to something somebody was doing, and for a particular period of time and at a particular rate. But I don't see any of that here. And like I said, this number is so specific that somebody did something somewhere to come up with it. You've got $22,224.66 for materials. Well, what are those materials? This isn't rocket science in terms of figuring this out, but the responses certainly don't lay out anything where the plaintiff could ascertain where these numbers come from. That's a problem. So my question, I guess, to defense counsel is, how long are you going to need to fix this and fix it right? Because if they have to come back here with a legitimate complaint, we're going to have a real problem.
Understood.
And under the rules, I will begin sanctioning. I'm almost ready to sanction today, but I will give you an opportunity because I feel that you're probably being placed in a circumstance where you cannot legitimately give me an answer and are not refusing, but are attempting to do so without misleading the court. So
Which is crazy. And my second one, look, I'm
That's
gone.
your
I'm
That's
gone.
your time. All right. So she's going. That's fine. That'll work too. Anyone else would like to speak on
And
the
you're a
appeal?
chair. You're chairing this
Anyone
meeting.
else would like to speak on the appeal?
So Mr. Wheatstone, since this is broadcast over YouTube, some eligible ladies may be emailing you. You don't know. Yeah.
No, I ain't got time for them.
Okay. Saying since it's on YouTube and some people saw this, they may have written in your email. So if they email you and said they saw you on YouTube,
Tell them my girlfriend is sitting back here waiting on me to get out of court, so she's not going for it.
So we'll go ahead and make that, this girlfriend, see, there you go. So, ladies, if you're gonna interview, if you're gonna email Mr. Whetstone, you're gonna make the future Ms. Whetstone grumpy. So don't do that and get him in trouble. There you
You
go.
say this on YouTube?
It is, yes, sir. You're famous.
You serious?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Okay, anything else?
No, Your Honor, we understood, Your Honor. Thank you. Gracias, señorita.
Okay, you are all set. Thank you.
Madam.
All right, everybody, that's it.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank
weekend.
you. Yeah, I will
Have a
have a
good
good
weekend,
weekend because I
everyone.
won't be here and then Paul will finally be back. So,
Sounds good.
okay, see you,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Thank
Bye.
you.